How about if I share with you a story of myself with the Rebbe? Because that's easy to remember, and that's me. By the way, yeah. I was 12 years old. From when I was 7, my father used to bring me every Simchas Torah to the Rebbe for the special holiday, for the Hakafas. I thank God, very, very vivid memories of the many times I was by the Rebbe for Simchas Torah. And I'm eternally grateful to my father for having done that, because now I'm the father of 7-year-olds and former 7-year-olds, thank God. And I know what it means to schlep a kid on a plane and have to take care of him in 770 for a few days myself. Anyway, my father did it every year from when I was 7 years old. One year, I got separated from my father sometime in the middle of Simchas Torah. I couldn't find them. And if you're familiar with the videos or the pictures of 770, 770 is a huge room with like bleachers on both sides and all the Chassidim standing in the middle. But on Shabbos Yom Tov, it would be like 3/4. The first quarter would be empty. Long story short, I was in that space waiting. The Rebbe was farbringing, but I didn't have a place. The Rebbe was speaking. And some of the New York kids, Rebbe Pinney, are you from New York?
Yes, I am.
You guys were scary as kids. Let me tell you, to a kid from the Midwest coming to visit 770, you were a scary bunch. Anyway, the New York kids were running around, and so I pulled over one of the kids and I said, "Sounds like the Rebbe's screaming. Do you hear the Rebbe's voice like over the bleachers?" He's like, "I don't know, but if you climb you climb through there, you'll come out right by the Rebbe." Anyway, I don't know how I had the guts. I climbed through under this long table, and I came out nowhere else than 6 inches away from the Rebbe on his right side on the floor. Okay, and that was a place that children were allowed. There were no children then, maybe because it was a unique time. And the Rebbe started speaking about the last verse of the Torah, which speaks about Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses. It speaks about all the miracles he did for the Jewish people, and he did it all before the eyes of the Jewish people. And Rashi, the commentary, says, what does that refer to? That his heart soared and he smashed the tablets, he smashed the luchas. And the Rebbe was asking a list of questions. Is that the greatest thing Moshe Rabbeinu did? And did he have to do it before the eyes of the Jewish people? It's the last thing of the Torah. Whole list of questions, and I'm doing the short version here. Anyway, the Rebbe went on to explain. And I have to tell you, as a child, I was not able to concentrate. I would not typically be able to understand, but anybody could have understood this. The Rebbe spoke with such passion. He explained, why did Moses break the tablets when he came down from Mount Sinai? His heart soared and he broke the luchos. Why did he do it? Because when he came down, the Jewish people were worshiping the golden calf. And he knew that he was holding in his hands their death sentence. So he broke it so that they wouldn't get in trouble, right? Because it said, thou shalt not have any gods, any other gods. So that's why he did it. He did it. He sacrificed himself, and he sacrificed that which Hashem had bestowed him, had given him, in order to save the Jewish people. And the Rebbe went on to explain, this is what a true Jewish leader is, that he's ready to sacrifice himself. He's ready to do something that's potentially against what Hashem would have wanted, just to save the Jewish people. And this is the greatest thing you could say about Moshe Rabbeinu. Now, as the Rebbe was saying this, he began to cry. And he began to cry. And there were times that the Rebbe cried a little bit. It was very rare, but even then. But the Rebbe began to sob as he was speaking. And he was explaining, this is what a Jewish leader is. He's ready to sacrifice everything for the Jewish people. And he did this before the eyes of the Jewish people, because it's a lesson for every Jew of Avos Yisrael. And there was a point at which the Rebbe could not continue speaking. He was crying so hard. And I'm sitting there on the floor. And I don't think anybody else could have seen this, maybe one or two other people, which is why I try and share it whenever I can. Because if you've seen the pictures, there are people sitting behind the Rebbe. There's a table, and there are people down there. But how many people were between the Rebbe and the table? Not many during that talk. I was probably the only one, but maybe there was another one or the 2 other people. And as the Rebbe was explaining this about how Moshe Rabbeinu is Avos Yisrael, his love for a fellow Jew, and it's a lesson to all of us, I remember watching from the corners of the Rebbe's beard, drip, 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 the tears falling onto his kapata. And looking up and seeing just drip, drip. That's how intensely the Rebbe was crying and trying to teach us what Avos Yisrael is and what true Jewish leadership is.